Thanks for jumping on our channel. I got another gun here. Just wanted to do a review on it. This is the Walther P22, meaning it's a 22 caliber semi-automatic pistol. This firearm here is a phenomenal tool. It's just fun shooting, and the reason I switched over to the Walther, I don't know if you guys remember, I used to utilize, a GSG 1911. I do have my Mark III and the Mark IV made by Ruger. They all have that longer barrel, which is awesome for plinking. Don't get me wrong, I love a long barrel. Your accuracy with those other guns is phenomenal, but I switched over to a much smaller frame gun, much smaller barrel to it, so I could challenge myself as a shooter, because your accuracy is going to diminish when you start decreasing your barrel. So I thought I would challenge myself and switch over to a smaller gun and just, get out there and have fun. So a quick review on this Walther, and if I like it or don't like it. A cool thing that I find with the Walther though, and this is a lot of their older versions, is it does have a different magazine release than what some of the newer guns do. And the reason why is because it's a European style gun. So when your magazine is actually placed inside here, you don't have your traditional button over here like the American way to just press a button and have a magazine full. It's actually part of your trigger guard, and it's this back piece here. So what I'm going to do is press down on it, and you can see it just shoots it out. It's really cool. I think it's, a fun shooting gun. It's something a little bit different, so I'm a big fan of it. Tearing apart, putting it back together, not my favorite, but everything else about this gun is just pretty neat, with the exception of a safety feature, which if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm sure you already know. I'm not a fan of magazine disconnects. This gun is ready to be shot, but if I pull the trigger, although it's single action, my hammer's not moving. And the reason why is there's no magazine inside the gun. So even if I had a round in my chamber right now, the gun would not fire until my magazine's all the way inside. Now I don't want to dry fire it, so I'm just gonna put my finger in the way here, pull the trigger. You can see my hammer did fall that time. And that's one thing I dislike about the gun, but I'm not going to carry it. So I don't really care if it has a magazine disconnect, a physical safety, anything like that, because it's a gun I use at the gun range, and that's it. So pretty fun shooting gun. Some features I like about it though. It's pretty aggressive as far as having grooves for your fingers. It does have a little bit of texturing done to the actual grips on it, so definitely a bonus. It does have a smaller beaver towel to it, not a huge deal because it is a 22, so it's not really going to whip in your hand or anything like that. It's quite lightweight compared to most of my other guns, but it's also half the size of a lot of those other guns. Now, as far as the grip goes, I can't fit all of my fingers on, but if I go to put in their magazine, and they use a different base plate for it, which starts locking that third finger up on the actual grip. So pretty cool design with that. The last piece that I'm really gonna talk about is your barrel. Now you can see this barrel's fixed. It's not a tilting barrel, it's not a rotating barrel, nothing like that. It is a fixed barrel, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes if you are using like let's say you're gonna run hollow points through here. It is something you might have to be cautious of, because the angle for the next cartridge and your actual barrel, sometimes you might have a fail to feed because it gets stuck on your feed ramp. I've never really encountered that with this, and I don't think you really would too much. It's just a very high quality firearm, or design high quality wise, I should say. And it comes in at a fairly cheap price overall. It's nothing too significant. It does have a cool safety feature if you are newer to firearms or something and you do utilize your safety selectors. They're just back on the rear where any other semi-auto is going to have them. And it just has an F for fire and S for safe, so nothing fancy, but they work. They're not too big or bulky, so you could operate them fairly easily right there. The grip of the firearm itself just feels pretty comfortable. And it does have a decent serration up top, so if you have to rack your actual slide, whether you grab the front or the back of it, it works. The spring inside here is very, very light, so even if you have a smaller hand, you're not strong, maybe you have like arthritis or something and you can't really pinch things the same way as you used to be able to, not a huge deal. You can do that very or should be able to do it fairly easily because of the internal pieces that Walther is running in their products. Now for your sights, your rear sight is adjustable as far as windage, which is nice. Elevation, you know, that's not really a huge deal in my opinion. The gun shoots great and I have never had to adjust elevation for it, but windage, I can move it left or right. So overall, the gun is pretty cool. Again, I like something different once in a while. I don't like what everyone else typically owns. So the Walther comes in at a really cool firearm in my opinion. Now, is it everybody's first choice of a gun? No, absolutely not. But does Walther make a high quality product? Yes, they definitely do. So find a gun that just works for you. And if you are interested in checking out something a little bit different, but something that's decent quality, something that's not gonna fail you, definitely look into that Walther P22 right here. Hey, thanks for jumping in. Make sure you guys do leave a comment if you enjoy the video. Even if you don't like the video, leave a comment down below. It helps beat the algorithms with the firearm, you know, world and whatnot. So I appreciate it either way. Make sure you do click the like and subscribe to our channel, the alert button, if you want to get notifications of every time we post some new videos for you guys. Thanks again. Take care.